Dispatch Season 1 was a video game that didn't just release this year, it absolutely detonated. Somehow a choice-based indie video game became one of the most emotionally charged, well-established, creative storytelling games that we have received in years and completely re-established the new standard of what is story-based video games. And now that we're a few weeks removed from the ending of Dispatch, the entire community is asking what is next for Robert Robertson and the rest of the Z team. Season 1 of Dispatch was one of those lightning in a bottle moments, not because it was perfect, but because it did exactly what it needed to do. It was alive. It reestablished the status quo. Superhero genre is something that's not rare anymore, but what is rare is making you give a fuck about it in any capacity whatsoever. They did that flawlessly with Season 1 of Dispatch. They brought back episodic story games in a way that we haven't seen since prime Telltale years. It makes sense that people are clamoring for the next season of this. And with Ad Hoc Studios talking about how they're definitely gonna look at Season 2, how Aaron Paul's saying he wants to come back, how Moist Critical says he wants to come back, Jacksepticeye says he wants to come back, I'm sure Jeffrey Wright would come back to play Chase. But it's not so easy as it seems, because there are multiple endings of the original game. You have to figure out a way that doesn't remove everything. You can't make multiple games for Season 2 to follow multiple different story trends. So you kind of have to look at all the different endings of Dispatch Season 1 and find a way to bring them together to put the timeline back into place so you can follow on with the story of Season 2. Now there's multiple things that can happen with Robert. You can either kill Shroud or let Shroud live. You can either get with Blonde Blazer, you can either get with Invisigal, or you can become friends with both and don't fall for anybody. Obviously, in one version of the story, Invisigal turns evil and kills Shroud whenever you continue to not go with her throughout the story and don't appeal to her emotions or her feelings. And that kind of sets up a natural continuation for Season 2, as Invisigal could be the potential bad guy. However, I don't feel like that's the route that we should be going. It seems very taking a step backwards, especially when the majority of the endings that you can get, Invisigal ends up going to the hospital for getting shot for saving Robert. It would be a natural step back if she overturned herself, babyface turn, saves Robert, becomes a hero, and then at the start of Season 2 to get back with the other ending, turns on Robert and the Z team early on in Season 2 and then goes to join the Red Ring. I don't really like that route. I feel like the natural progression is to fix the bad ending and have her come back to the Z team early on in Season 2 if that's the ending you got. I feel like the most natural starting point is Invisigal. Whether she turns on you and goes to the Red Ring or stays with the Z team, I feel like by the end of episode 1 of Season 2, we should all land on Invisigal is back with the Z team and the Z team is reunited and we're just going from there. Obviously, you have the route where you have the Blonde Blazer romance or you have the Invisigal romance. You can either choose to explore both of those in the dating phases of Robert's relationship with them, or you can do a time skip situation and kind of wipes the clean slate, makes everything fresh. Robert is either single by himself because something went wrong, or who knows. But for me, Season 2, Robert's natural continuation of his story arc needs to be either moving back into being Mecha Man, or he needs to take a step back and realize that being Mecha Man isn't what makes him a hero. He can be a hero being a dispatcher, and I feel like that will that's a great story arc for him. Him trying to deal with the fact that he's no longer capable of being Mecha Man. They explored it a little bit in Dispatch Season 1, of course they did, and Robert was forced to be on the sidelines up until the finale, which I felt like was a good way to get back into it. I felt like he should have gotten back into the suit by the end of it, but I feel like Robert's natural progression of his character is that he's going to give up being Mecha Man to be a full-time dispatcher. Perhaps he goes on to lead another dispatch team that introduces new heroes and new characters, or maybe he gets a bigger role within the SDN. Perhaps we bring in another character for Robert to potentially have an emotional fling with, a gray area, somebody that maybe tricks him or manipulates him in some capacity. Perhaps that's what we can do at season 2, is that Invisigal, no matter what happens on the ending that you choose in the original game, she ends up back with the Z team. Maybe there's a time skip, and that's when we find out that Robert is no longer with Blonde Blazer or Invisigal for some capacity. A new member of the Z team comes in. It's an emotional fling for Robert. He is skeptical at first. She betrays him, and in some way or kind of situation, Robert loses his ability to be Mecha Man again and has to deal with the emotional factor that he can be a hero being a dispatcher. He doesn't have to be Mecha Man anymore. And by the end of the game, maybe Robert can find his way back to Invisigal or Blonde Blazer. Or you can go a completely different route and you can have the entire game focus on Robert and his relationship with the chosen love spectacle that you decided to go with. They go through a dating phase, they go through ups and downs and trials and tribulations and growth as characters, and then maybe you can bring in that alternate gray area character manipulator that brings some conflict into the relationship. But no matter what, my prediction and hope for season 2 of Dispatch is that is where we go moving forward. It's the focus on Robert trying to find a way being a hero just by being a dispatcher, letting go of Mecha Man and being okay with it. Maybe we even do a perspective or a story where he is growing and mentoring the next version of Mecha Man. But what are some fan theories and things that you would like to see in season 2 of Dispatch? Where would you like to see Robert Robertson and the Z team go next? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please like it, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can see us come back with more in the future. You guys seem really to like the Dispatch stuff. Perhaps we'll do more Dispatch content in the future. Nothing has impacted the video games more this year than Dispatch, in my opinion. And that's about all I got for this episode. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace, love, adios, and bye-bye.